guys. I'm not going to pelt you because that's quite a way to go.
Kill you.
All right, so Festivus miracle number 13. Completing the chronicle crossword puzzle without looking at the solution. Anybody? No? I do it. Are you kidding? That's one of the best things to do at midnight on a Friday.
No, it's not.
I'll save this one then. All right, so Festivus miracle number 4. Finding money in a pocket of clothing you haven't worn in a while. Okay, yes. All right, here we go. Oh, almost. At least I hit your body. I was in the, oh, wait a minute. This little miracle fell off. I'll find it later. All right. Festivus miracle number 30. Having someone tell you that you've inspired him or her.
Yes.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Festivus miracle number 27. Binge watching your favorite show on your day off. Again, I'm the only one who does that.
Yes.
Okay. Wow, you guys are just so productive. Okay, here's a low bar. This has got to win. Festivus miracle number 1. Breathing through both nostrils well at the same time. Anybody else? No one else suffers from allergies except for me. Okay, great. I'm turning into the grumpy. This is supposed to cheer me up. You guys are making me grumpy again. Come on, humbug. Okay, we gotta work. More me here. All right, put these aside. All right, Festivus miracle number 2. Pulling out the exact change from your pocket or purse. Man, this is just, there are no miracles going on. No miracles going on. Let me see. Festivus miracle number 10. Having a great conversation before you realize you don't actually know the person. Apparently just me and my mother, we do that. Okay. Done that like 3 times already in my life.
Wow.
Okay, I don't know. Festivus miracle number 14. Doing a dance step completely wrong, but everybody wants to copy you. All of these have happened to me. Apparently, I am more unique than I thought. All right. Festivus miracle number 28. Giving someone a gift for no reason at all. Okay, here we go. Wow. 1. I should stop, but I feel lucky now. I feel like we got all the other ones off. Festivus miracle number 29. Seeing your reflection unexpectedly and thinking, I look fabulous. Only my narcissistic ass thinks that. I did see my reflection one time when I was teaching in Seoul, Korea. And as you can imagine, I don't look Korean. And I just happened to walk past a way that I wasn't expecting, new path or something. It was a mirrored building, and I just went, and it was my reflection. I did not think in that point that I looked fabulous. But I was like, oh my God, now I understand why they look at me and go, wow. All right, Festivus miracle number 6, hugging a friend you haven't seen in a long time. Every bastard in here should raise their hand, but hope will take the candy for you. All right. Festivus miracle number 11. Finding all the matching socks when you put away your laundry. Never happened.
Never. There we go. Yeah.
No, I'm always happy when it does happen. It never, ever happens. Okay. Festivus miracle number 12. Realizing that the police is after another speeding driver. Okay, yes. We're going to end on that one. Look at all these losers here. Okay, you're a winner. But now I'm going to give these out to somebody else. There's got to be somebody else that these things happen to. It can't just all be me. Oh, right. No. Just in this crowd. All right. Our first open micer is Stephanie Johnson.
Yay, Stephanie!
I have a few announcements to make.
Alrighty.
I'm honored to share with everyone here. Okay, I think I've done this before, but I think this will be a good time to go ahead and do this again. This is a little bit about myself. Stephanie was born in Chicago, Illinois, and raised in Alamo, Tennessee. Alamo was named after the Alamo and the county seat for Crockett County. Crockett County is named after famous frontiersman Davy Crockett. Stephanie spent 25 years on active duty in the Air Force. Stephanie spent 4.5 years as a dental assistant instructor at Shepherd Air Force Base. Stephanie had tours of duty at Clark Air Base, Philippines, Grand Forks, North Dakota, Shepherd Air Force Base in Wichita Falls, Texas, Ruiz, West Germany, Columbus, Mississippi, Rhein-Main, Germany, and Cannon Air Force Base, New Mexico. Since retirement from the Air Force, Stephanie has been employed as an ROTC instructor in Temple and also Midland, Texas. Stephanie spent 6 years as a medical assistant instructor in Lubbock, Texas, then for another year in Killeen. Stephanie has lived in Austin since 2013 and has been a member of Faith Presbyterian. Stephanie's favorite poem is by Robert Frost, A Road Not Taken. Stephanie's favorite part from the poem is the last line. And I took the road not taken, that has made all the difference. Stephanie believes, don't be afraid to be who you are. Stephanie has been on her journey for transition for most of all of her life. Stephanie enjoys public speaking and enjoys teaching others about someone being transgender. Although Stephanie remained in the closet for many years, she took a major step in 2015 when she was the featured speaker for the VA Pride Month in June of 2015. This was Stephanie's first time to present herself totally female at work. Stephanie deeply appreciates the love and support from everyone at Faith Presbyterian. One of Stephanie's efforts is to teach others when someone is transgender, it is a step-by-step process and that at that individual's own internal clock. There are several steps a person goes through. There is no right or wrong way, as each person is different. Stephanie wants to stress that everyone who goes through this process is in need of love and support. They are human like anyone else. Stephanie is blessed by having a very supportive counselor. Stephanie urges others who may be on their own transition journey to seek professional counseling. No one can transition alone. Stephanie is a woman who is involved in the community and stays busy. In addition to Stephanie's daily employment, Stephanie is an Avon representative, devoting her spare time to delivering Avon brochures and orders. Stephanie finds time to be involved with Transgender Education Network of Texas, supporting the transgender community, as well as the Austin Book Writers Roulette. Stephanie has been involved with the Transgender Day Remembrance for many years. Stephanie also has participated in the V-Day Austin Safe Place production of the Vagina Monologues that raises awareness of violence toward women. Stephanie has participated in Safe Place tabling and concerning an event concerning transgender individuals. Not only is Stephanie involved in these activities, Stephanie is also involved with Faith Presbyterian. She loves the family atmosphere and appreciates his support. Stephanie manages to make time for herself. She loves to apply her green thumb in growing flowers and tomato plants. She loves attending live music events at Patsy's Cowgirl Cafe and enjoys taking in a movie now and then. Stephanie's counselors have all said to Stephanie, I don't know where you get your energy. And each counselor has also stated to Stephanie, you are someone with a deep sense of right and wrong. Now my announcement is that I will be giving a sermon at Faith Presbyterian come January or February, and the topic will be Faith, Hope, and Love. So I'm looking forward to doing that. The other is I have one letter from a medical provider. I will be getting another letter probably in the next couple of weeks from my counselor. Sometime in January or February or March of next year, my name will no longer be Stephanie Michelle Johnson. It will be changing. Last meeting, I talked a little bit about the heritage of the Johnson name. Go ahead and share with you. My name will be Stephanie Elise Freno. Freno, F-R-E-N-O. That's my announcements.
Thank you.
So this is something I'm still working on, but Actually, I mean, Brian,
Yeah.
I'm not here today, wherever he is, challenged me to write.
Nice. Well, let's see the video.
Okay. We challenged us to write something on between worlds. And these are the worlds that I presently am straddling. We're not married anymore. The tie permanently severed, jagged edged and complete. Though the wound still pulses hot and bleeds when the scab is torn from the constant friction of seeing you. For we are still lassoed at the hip, caring for these sweet souls who came through our union. Reminders there must have been a reason we once loved. It is when I catch a glimpse of the love between you that I grit my teeth and keep balancing on the knife edge of these two worlds. For anger is easy, spitting fire and spewing sparks that scorch. As righteous as it may be to protect my flame and hold the sacredness of my circle where I raise my young, I must also leave just enough room for the love to get through. For the love of their father cannot be replaced. So I close my eyes and I breathe through my teeth, raising the heat to expand myself larger than the hate. Sitting mountain, leave no rooms for your barbs to take root. Tumbling boulders roll from my shoulders and my eyes see through you. For you can't break this heart. When I burrow deep in my center, you cannot touch me. I ascend large, arching backbend. My body stretches like the earth from sea to sea. And I'm reminded that soft, flowing water cuts canyons with a smile.
Yeah.
So, if someone ever gave out free samples of positivity, I'd surely try it, since free is my price. Not only that, but I want more positivity in my life. More doors of opportunity to be open, more creative flow, restfulness, energy, and laugh out loud moments. When I was younger, I thought once I figured life out, I'd perpetually be happy. I'd know exactly how to avoid pitfalls by learning from my mistakes. Only challenge is, I'm still making my mistakes. So, it's similar to the time I had the brilliant idea to make a list of the things I needed to get done before I sat down to read. My leisure reading time would start after I crossed everything off my list that needed to be done for the day. The more I wrote down, the more there was to do. As a matter of fact, I began to have list of lists. Remind you, I am a Virgo. So I started grouping certain activities to cut down on driving around so much on any one particular day. After a few weeks, I concluded that the only way to guarantee at least an hour's reading time nearly every day was to schedule it. Since the list was virtually endless, I'd wind down for bed at a certain time regardless of how far I'd made it on my to-do list and read for an hour. Scheduling happiness is far more challenging a task. It involves more than avoiding pitfalls, boring people, junk food, traffic jams, high bills, car repairs, rising rent, illness, lack of money, insomnia, heartbreak, and stress. A daily dose of happiness cannot be swallowed like a multivitamin, taken like a medicinal shot of tequila, nor adding to a morning smoothie to start the day. Happiness, as I best understand it, is the result of an uncompromised immune system of positivity. Having an uncompromised immune system of positivity doesn't mean that opportunistic assholes and bullshit still doesn't cross your path. It means, despite the fact that they have, you are still a happy person. A positive immune system response allows you to recover from exposure to negativity. A positive response may occur automatically and naturally for some people, especially, A positive response may occur automatically and naturally for some people, but not if that person is me. I have had plenty of negative exposure that flared my temper where, after the fact, I thought of different responses that could have diffused the situation, had my mind not been flooded with negative thoughts. The instant gratification of acting out, usually in the form of very sharp words, have set me back in the long run. At one point, I had a boss who actually strategized to tick me off. He counted on my temper worsening the situation during his last attempt. Unfortunately for him, I'd read a wonderful book, which I recommend to everyone who works with assholes, called Working With You Is Killing Me. Armed with something more productive to do, I reacted empowered to the negative situation in a positive manner. I handled the situation so well that his boss complimented my reaction. A few minutes later, she realized that he had lied to her about my performance. So, I've not faced such a situation again, but I can never vanquish all negatives once and for all. Blissfulness comes and goes. When it's gone, all I can do about it is breathe and flow. Sit in stunned silence until the initial shock propagates through my nervous system. I breathe, I think. If I am lucky, I haven't had my daily exercise yet. Exercising is one of the healthiest ways I boost my positivity along with my breathing. I visualize the extra blood pumping through my vessels, driving out stress. Whereas others need caffeine to wake up, pills to sleep, and whatever else in between to dull the pain, I rely on breath and cursing. To be honest. Sometimes it just needs to slow down. Other times it needs to speed up. On rare occasions when I'm swimming, I need to rhythmically hold my breath. Full disclosure, I practice yoga at least 4 times a week. Out of all the forms of exercise I've ever tried, from various styles of dancing, martial arts, lifting weights, and swimming, the profound, directed breaths I take in yoga are the most useful to combating negativity. They are the free positivity samples. Next time someone or something stresses you out, don't hold your breath or huff and puff in anger or even count to 10. Breathe. Give your brain the oxygen it needs to think of a positive response.
Yay.
All right. And hitting our open mic set is Thom.
Home burner. It's called elementally speaking. Stone can wait, water must move. Tree must fall before arrow flies. If water stops dancing, it grows stale. Fire can warm and burn, strong medicine. Share your elemental wisdom, welcome to the periodic table. This air you breathe, ancient, recycled. This water you drink, through the bodies of ancestors. This earth you walk, gentle, temporarily. Everything will change. Who wants it? It's yours. There you go. Gotta be quick. Okay, part 2. I measure my time by the loss of significant souls. For grief is anger internalized, and who wants to carry pasts? Those singers of my growing are leaving one by one. Their names are called, and we must deal with the absence of them. In the rain, with other thousands, I saw David Bowie from a distance. It was his Glass Spider tour, and I remember that Spider even more than his current anthem heroes. The loss of his pulse is a deep wound. Field Commander Cohen, I had bought and played his records, attended his concerts, gave out poetry at his concerts, and he stood on stage and said, "Someone has been handing out poetry at my concert. I wish to applaud this brave and useless exercise." So we gathered flowers from the local gardens, strew petals outside the stage door in adoration and respect. And I loved his poetry, novels, and life force. Prince was more a distant fire burning in Minneapolis. He has volumes of genius still to be released. All 3 weave connections close enough to grieve. I say to all survivors, never leave. It's yours. Come. Words of poem, well done. You remember them too. Okay, next chance. Survival 101. Situational awareness, December 2017. Before you leave your home, check. Keys, cash, ID, phone, medication. Prepare for the unexpected, whether it be weather or some headline-grabbing emergency. Better to know than not. Be wired for adaptive strategies. If gridlock, find alternative roads. If storms, wait them out. Do not drive through flooded creeks. Washed away. You'll be washed away like history. Be aware on any street, traffic, pedestrian, cyclists. Expect the unexpected, carelessness and inattention. Leave margins of space and time to avoid collisions. Navigate each moment as a point of awareness. Same with every labyrinth at work or play. You need to be alive and well, healthy, hale and happy at the beginning, middle and end of each and every day. You've got to be quick. There's no chance, no chance. We are village level individuals. We gather together to listen to each other. None of us have to agree with another. This is how love hears the other. When asked, how shall I approach my enemy? Wolf replies with an open heart. There is no other, only us in different masks. Whatever we accuse another of, we may have done it first. We say we stay small, mobile, sharp, aware of big but staying under radar. Against squares and rectangles, we have circles and spirals. Against greed and ego, we have potlatch and potluck. Against walls and jails, we have wind and waves. Elements were here long before us, they're not going away. And our periodic table tends to expand rather than shrink and decay. Be quick! No one.
That's here, over here, Thom.
Where, who? Hello? I couldn't even see you down the back there. Well done. Okay, a couple more chances. Forget the Affordable Care Act, forget the expansion of Medicaid, forget the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, forget open immigration. We're making new ruins, Potemkin villages. Looks like a ruin, acts like a ruin, is a ruin. Politics constipates, conservatives castigate, few to whom one can truly relate. Where once there were solid structures, each day good citizens demonstrate. Have you already forgotten the Standing Rock? Occupy? Populism only fails against tyranny and despots. Once there really was a black man inside the White House. Now we go back to crooked capitalism and a retrofitted whiteout. Ruins are not just roads and bridges, nor social welfare programs no longer universal. Ruins exist where people no longer have control over their own lives and cannot find the words nor willpower to effectively equally function. Yep, you got it, you got it. I come towards you. Life is a compromise. Okay, near the end. Survival 101. Time has changed. Tweet time rules. Newspapers too slow like Telegraph and Telegram. Economies fall like dominoes. Pop star bubbles burst. Our elders are leaving us. Each day electric shock treatment. No cures, just maintenance doses. So we learn and teach Survival 101. The necessity for art and poetry. Minimum requirements for sanity and a sense of cultural continuity. It helps to love the living rather than deify the dead. To see the heroines inside us rather than bowing down to power addicts. To seek service over control. To link to those with whom you share your hopes. These days are dangerous. Traffic is angry and gridlocked. It's the end of oil and gas. It's the start of required renewable energy sources. You are that renewable energy source. Log on and log in to the antidote to the matrix. With your free will, your free thoughts, your free emotions and a sense of play and fun. Course number 1 of Survival 101.
Oh, now.
Hope was quicker. Hope lives. Okay, now, life is short. Are you up to 3 more? Okay, thank you. Just for you. The news repeats, the news repeats, the news repeats as if from another day. We have nothing to do but consume and obey. It will be worse another way. Deja vu, deja vu, deja vu from 1984. Replay like black and white cinema. Scapegoats kept outside our borders will soon return just as before, as we did pre-America. These ununited states cry wolf, yet howl when their interests are reduced. Migrating birds fly over walls with no passports. Visas do not work for jaguars, and a river is not a wall. All we ask is wisdom in our age when speed of information turns the page upon the role of our only fourth estate. Journalists assume the mantle of a sage and are decried when they leak like broken dams. Outcries, unrest and demonstrations every day. Tell me, would Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren act this way? Okay, lucky you. See, I come to you. Hand up. You're welcome. Near the end, keep breathing. Petitions arrive. I sign and forward them. I cut and I paste. I photocopy them. We're all on so many front lines. Save the whales, save the rainforest, save the dolphins, save the penguins, stop the pipeline. Destruction and environment, transition to renewable energies. I've used up all my capital letters. My exclamation marks are exhausted. My alphabet has compassion fatigue. If I pass this baton on, perhaps the young will save the trees, save the seas, save the sacred sites. There really is an energy crisis. I think I'll go inside and have another nap. I get tired from all the shouting. Oh, okay, Stephanie, well done. Last one. It's about how pretty soon we're going to look back at this year. You know how at the end of every year they go, oh, this all happened. What a year. So, retro rap. Retro rap, you cannot go back. The year has snatched. Prince David Bowie, Phil Commander Cohen, we bought records from all of them. Nobel Prize to Bob Dylan. Hard Rain, badly sung by Patti Smith. Everywhere bombs over peace. Police murders of black people. Black on black violence too. Stacked weapons on civilians. Child soldiers. Sexual trafficking epidemic. Everything will be revealed. Free Chelsea Manning, free Leonard Peltier, Only drug offenders will be turkeys. Cheap oil, frack water, standoff at Standing Rock, still unfinished business, refugees, endless wars, endless ISIS, Daesh, CIA, FBI, undercover policemen who shot that Russian ambassador. So we start again. Build fires to warm our hearts again. We'll not wait for a new year before organising. Every moment now is precious as affirmations, resolutions, demonstrations, WikiLeaks, Wikipedia, Assange, Snowden, brave souls in exile or in prison. Freedom means truth in information clear as water drinking in. The only world we all live within. Happy solstice, safe internet dreaming. Happy Festivus! Yay!
Thank you so much for coming out, braving the snows of August. It had me worried on Thursday. Anyway, we are returning to Malvern Books, our wonderful, wonderful
Yay,
venue.
Malvern,
If you
yay.
didn't get a chance to look around, please do. They are truly an independent bookstore that embraces the literary community, not only by allowing little quirky groups like mine to come and perform, but also by the selection of books that they have. Yes. We're always the second Sunday of every month. I already have the calendar. If you guys have the cards on the chairs, yeah. If you already have one, take two. I have plenty. I print up 1,000. Our next one is going to be on January 14th. And our theme is the shock of a new beginning. It's not just the new beginning of the new year, but the shock when you had to begin anything. And it was just like, a shock to you. So keep that in mind. You have a month. Thank you so much.